And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to Wizardly Ramblings number 5 with my good friend Evie from She Was Only Evie, my cohort in chaos. Evie, why don't you introduce yourself?
Uh, you kind of introduced me already. I'm Evie. Surprise, surprise. Um, yes, Anita, bring the baby tonight. Else people will hit the dislike button.
No,
I'm pretty
see,
sure
I went out of my way to make sure both babies were in bed before this started.
they could wake up. They're babies. I don't know how children
Please.
work, but I'm assuming
It,
that they could wake up anytime.
they're
Um,
both sick with head colds, so I would
oh,
rather they stay asleep.
oh, poor things. Oh,
Like every 3 seconds, I just see a bubble just explode out the side of one of their faces, and then just splat onto the cheek, and then they take their hands and just all
I
over the place.
mean, that's actually a really good segue. In Don Quixote, which I've been surprisingly breezing through, there have already been two instances of characters vomiting and can I curse on here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Vomiting and shitting themselves. And then that was one instance, and then the other instance is another character vomiting on another character, which caused that character to vomit. And I'm like, what year was this written again? So
I was like 1800 or like no, Don
no,
Quixote's old.
no, 1600s,
Yeah, I was about to say I was
1600s.
like, it's old.
Yeah,
The last time I cracked open the spine of Don Quixote, I think I was 15 and I didn't understand it.
it. I don't know if it's this. I mean, probably the majority of it is the translation, but it is surprisingly readable. Like, and I just cannot put it down. And I was just putting in one of the discords, just kind of like word vomiting my thoughts. Is that like I'm simultaneously like horrified, disgusted, entertained and amused and saddened all at the same time while reading these like adventures of Don Quixote. And it's just I didn't expect this from this. So I was like, okay, cool. I guess I'm going to have fun with this.
Madison is a true connoisseur to know Wishbone because not enough people know who Wishbone is.
Listen, a book olive, she did it or I think she's still doing the series of the Wishbone adaptations and like
Who is?
comparing the episodes with like the source material, the book that it was adapting. It's great.
Nice. I just remember there was an episode of Wishbone where Wishbone was like Robin Hood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
remember.
was fantastic.
I remember the Tale of Two Cities one. That's the one that I most remember.
It's been a long time. I just remember Wishbone being amazing.
Yes. Wishbone on DVD.
Honestly, I need to find Wishbone and just stream it for my kids. They'll hate it,
Oh yeah.
but I'm gonna do it. Like I constantly try and show my kids like my childhood favorites, like the old school Blues Clues.
Lamb
For
chop.
some reason, say what?
Lamb chop.
Can Where do you stream Lamb Chop?
I don't. Well, I don't. I'm just throwing out children shows. I don't know if you can actually stream it anywhere. Probably
It's just a
PBS
song
maybe.
that never ends. Just it
And
goes
it goes
on
on
and
and
on
on, my
again.
friends.
Some people, sorry, that I remember Lamb Chop. Lamb Chop was good.
Lamb chop was great.
My dog had a Lamb Chop chew toy.
Max has a disemboweled lamb chop. He's currently
Poor
asleep,
Lamb Chop.
otherwise he'd be getting it right now. So
You should probably. What up, Michael? I'm sorry. You should probably buy him a new Lamb Chop.
well, this was his second lamb chop, so
Ah, okay. They don't last very long. They're not made. They're not made to last.
yeah, as soon as a hole he got a couple holes in it and fluffing started coming out, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna disembowel this entire thing and just give him the skin of it. And he loves it.
The pelt, if you will.
Yeah.
That's fair. How's your reading month going, by the way?
I mean, I'm really enjoying Don Quixote, so that's good. What did I read earlier? This My brain is so like fried that I don't even remember what I last read. I have this one. Thank God I track my reading.
Oh, so do I. I would be completely lost without Goodreads.
Oh, yeah,
And,
there we go. So I started the month with finishing my reread of Arm of the Sphinx.
okay.
I know that we have differing opinions on Fall of Babel, but we can get around to that.
Well,
And then
I mean, y'all act like I hate the Fall of Babel. I gave it like 3 stars, didn't I?
at least it wasn't 1 star, but it's
No, I am. I would not 1 star a Josiah Bancroft book.
all right, okay. And then I read Blood in the Mist, and that was surprisingly good as well. So
Nice. My reading is going incredibly slow this month. I've only finished 3 books this month so far, which is incredibly slow for me. Although I should be finishing this tomorrow.
nice. Are you
Um,
doing any audio, or is it
yeah,
like
this
audio
this is
on
this is on audio. I'm immersion reading this one. And then I'm physically reading this one, and I'm just having a wonderful time with it.
Well, that is a massive book, so I can see
It
why
is.
you're slow.
It is so. I'm only 15% into it, and I've probably been reading it for 3 days. Like I'm just kind of taking small little nibbles. Just I'll read 10 pages here, 20 pages here.
You're relishing the reading experience. There you go.
And Derry is here for the blood in the water. She's
Listen,
just
we can get it out of the way if you want.
oh no. Let's have Derry wait. If Derry wants to be entertained, there is a barrier to entry to this show.
Are you not entertained?
What's up, Shad?
Hi, Shad.
Let's see. He's allowed to have hot takes on his own channel. Yeah, I am allowed to have my hot takes and my correct opinions on my own channel.
Who is the one that pays for StreamYard, sir?
Yeah, that's fair.
I could shut this down so fast you wouldn't even know.
That seems a bit rude.
Well,
I mean, here I am being nice, chatting and hanging out and having fun, and you're just trying to make a wizard cry.
yeah, I thrive on tears. So
You thrive on tears. Keep a nice little flask, just keeps you young.
well, how do you think I stay so youthful?
Vibrant.
Yeah, there
Vibrant,
you
youthful. That's a good way to put it. Evie, this is my favorite type of gatekeeping. Going for violence. Salty tears are delicious.
especially when they're not your own.
So, is this your second or third time through the tower of Babel?
Oh, it's a reread, so it's the second time.
Second time through it. I knew it was like one of your favorites. I didn't know if it was like a second or third reread.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. I forgot. Apparently numbers, and I thought that you said first and second, not second and third. Whoa. I wasn't a math major, okay?
Trust me, neither was I. I am famously like so. Both of my in-laws were like masters in mathematics. Like they were the AT and they were part of AT&T when AT&T ruled the world. And they were like something engineers, whatever. Anyway, when I had to go back to college to finish out my degree, they would tutor me in math, and routinely my mother-in-law would just turn to me and look at me. He's like, "What about this don't you understand?" And I'm just like, "Could you start from the beginning, please?"
What?
You lost me at what? So, yeah, I don't know. Do you get a lot of value out of rereading? Because I mean, it's something I haven't done in quite a while.
I love rereading because I find so much more on a reread that I wasn't paying attention to before. Like, for example, mind you, I haven't started my reread of this yet, but rereading Assassin's Apprentice. like the scene in Assassin's Apprentice that was very traumatizing for me. Rereading it, I was able to, not that I was not distraught over it again, but because I
I mean, that scene is
know,
a bit on the nose.
yes. Um, but because I know how the story ends and I know the arc, I was able to see what else Robin Hobb was doing, and
Mm-hmm.
that it's there was obviously a lot of depth to that scene, and the power. Derry, do you got your bingo card? The power of Robin Hobb's writing is that she can make you feel that emotion so deeply that you kind of, much like the character of Fitz, you kind of like black out and just see, kind of get your blinders on and just see what you want to see, I guess, through the emotions. And then on a reread, you see, oh, I can take a step back and kind of see these character interactions and what is being done outside of those emotions, if that makes sense.
Okay, that's fair. There are some series I've been really wanting to like reread. Um, Actually, I would not mind a Sinlin reread. That would be a lot of fun for me, I think. And then there's just I think the last series that I fully read through was uh,
Wheel of Time.
Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn because I pulled out of the slog in Wheel of Time because I couldn't do
I
it.
thought I thought you I thought you were reading Memory Star and Thorn for the first time.
No, that was a reread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a reread for me the last time that I made it through. And then with Stephanie's book verse actually starting next week, I'm finally rereading the Ember Blade.
That is a
Which
nice addition.
oh yeah, this is the broken binding one. I'm so
Nice.
happy. Like despite whatever I feel for the broken binding, I am so happy that they came out with this because this was $35 versus the original print was $100.
What?
So oh yeah, no, the Ember Blade had like a super limited hardcover run. I think it was like only 100 hardcovers were printed. They were all numbered and signed, and then that was it. So
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess, but yeah.
I
So,
hate when they do that.
Todd, what you were saying, like rereading is, um, wow, I totally misread that. I thought you said rereading is, yeah, whatever. Rereading is awesome, but
Yeah,
also rereading is particularly comforting for me. And to be brutally honest, on the internet, mental health has not been that great lately. So I've found a lot of comfort and like solace in rereading and stuff like that lately. So
yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with seeking comfort in a reread.
yeah,
I mean, you already know the story. You don't have to have that anxiety. Like, don't get me wrong, the anxiety can still be there, but it's like it's kind
yeah,
of dampened a little bit, and you
yeah.
you know what you can have to look forward to, and things you can revisit. Um,
And you can relish
Surprisingly,
the story a bit more, which I've realized that I really like doing. When I first started into BookTube, like I was reading so much and so quickly. I was obviously still enjoying what I was reading, but kind of slowing down for me is like I just love relishing stories, whether it's a reread or not. I just love taking my time and just kind of sinking into a story, and giving stories the time that I think that they need, which is for me at a slower pace. So, but sorry, I didn't
yeah,
mean to interrupt.
no, no, trust me, I completely understand what you're saying. Because last year I did like 210, which was way too much. It was way too much. My like high goal is 150 this year, and realistically, I'm starting to think I'm going to hit around 130, which is a huge step back.
That is more than double of what I read last year. Like Jesus,
What 210?
no, 150.
My first year tracking was 2021. 2021 was the first year I tracked, and that year I hit 120.
Wow.
And then 2022, I lost my damn mind. I got too competitive. I got too engrossed in trying to get caught up, which is never going to happen. So I don't know why I even tried. Yeah.
I've given up on trying to control my TBR.
Well, I try and control what's on the shelves. Like I'm currently in the middle of an unhaul. And so like that's going well. I've already gotten rid of 1, 2, 3. One's coming to you.
Thank you.
It's already in the mail. And then I sent 4 to Nico, so I've already got 7 off the shelves. But
Patrick,
yeah,
I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Sorry, Hordeler.
Patrick.
Yep.
Where's Daddy Starfish?
Right here. Here. There. Oh god.
Ah! I always forget you have access. Madison, no, I do not want to race. I am not in any mood to race anybody. In fact, like the 2 readathons that I took part in last month, like I was like, I'm gonna read what I'm gonna read. I'm not gonna plan to fit any prompts, and you're gonna get what you're gonna get. And so, luckily, I fulfilled all the prompts on the key mark, and then like Jake's did his Battle of the Bands, and I think I submitted like 13 last month, which they have 20 prompts. So I was just like, I'm not reaching for 20. 20 is too much. I did it one time. Alan loves to remind me of the infamous month where like I went completely
ham.
Well, it was for a competition, okay? I got competitive. But yeah, it's just I don't want to do that.
Well, shameless self-promotion here. Not that I really do videos that much anymore. It's more discussion stuff, which, by the way, if you're just coming here and you have no idea who the hell I am, I mainly just do discussion videos and or reading sprints. So,
Sprants.
We'll get back to that, Brian. I will talk to you about Dune. But in September, I'm gonna do this very casual short story September thing.
Nice.
Where I'm gonna try and encourage people to read short stories either individually or collections or anthologies. So September is my birthday month, so if you want to give me a present, you can read a short story collection or anthology.
September?
Yep.
Do you have a recommendation for me off the cuff?
Well, Ted Chiang. Either of his short story collections are amazing. Exhalation and Stories of Your Life and Others. Also, Kim Liu's The Paper Menagerie is absolutely incredible. Although you already read the collection, or did you just read the?
I only read the short story, The Paper Menagerie, and I cried.
Prepare yourself for the same thing for the rest of the story. Like my favorite story from that collection is Good Hunting. It is. I still think about that story. I mean, I still think about like pretty much all of his stories, but all of them are bangers. I know Nico loved it too. Like loved the collection. So definitely
he started off like kind of mixed on it, and then as he got deeper into the collection, he fell more and more in love with it.
Oh yeah. I've already given him crap for like not really enjoying the bookmaking habits of select species, which is the first story in the collection, and it was one of my favorites. Like it started off with a bang for me. So, but yeah. So Kim Liu. If you want like angry feminist horror speculative stuff, I would recommend.
Yeah, that sounds right up my alley, Evie.
I mean, unlike Alan, you don't hate women, so I'm just waiting for Alan.
I'm raising a powerful, bossy daughter.
Yeah, you gotta raise them ladies right. But yeah, no, Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado is really good. Like Ted Chiang, Kim Liu, Carmen Maria Machado, those are 3 short story writers that I think are.
I've heard of Ted.
Ted Chiang, yeah. So, The Story of Your Life is actually the story that the movie Arrival is based off of.
Okay.
Get your bingo card, Derry! Which is that's what that tattoo is from.
Okay.
Yeah, So those three are like my trifecta of like amazing short story writers. If you want like more, like less, I don't want to say literary or less like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. If you want like, I feel like those are S tier. If you want like a B plus tier, like more, I would say accessible writing. I would say Alexander Weinstein. Both of his collections, Universal Love and Children of the New World, are really good. Also Salt Slow by Julia Armfield. I think those are
Okay.
pretty good kind of starter collections. So yeah,
I'm just gonna timestamp this later and come back and watch it.
cool.
20 minutes in. That was all 18 to 20 minutes. There we go. 18 to 20 minutes.
You know, you can ask me anytime for recommendations.
That is also true. Oh yeah, I got Madison is reading Dungeon Crawler Carl. And it's hilarious. It's fantastic. It's zany, it's out there, and it's got a talking sassy cat.
Is it like, is it a short story? Is it like a novella?
No, it's a book.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, a lot of people have been getting turned on to Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's so good. It's so good. Oh yeah, Bradbury also. I should have known this because Jake loves Bradbury. Sup T? And
Um,
Bradbury also has a bunch of short story stuff. And I've been wanting to try Bradbury. I have as a voracious book collector, my issue is I see something pretty and I want it, despite the fact I haven't read it and I 100% can't justify the purchase.
yeah.
Like, because he's got the Folio Society edition of Something Wicked This Way Comes. And I've been getting into horror, and like it's Bradbury. I was like, oh, I should just go ahead and get the folio. And I've had to stop myself from purchasing that 5 times already. Like during the coronation, folio was just like, yeah, free shipping. I was like, well, that'll save me $20. I should go ahead and buy it.
Charles.
I had to stop myself. I've never read Ray Bradbury. I don't think.
Um,
I might have peaked at Fahrenheit.
I think I can't remember what my husband has downstairs. I think it's The Illustrated Man, maybe. He's read something by Ray Bradbury, one of the few like
The 3 I'm most interested in are Illustrated Man, Martian Chronicles, and Something Wicked.
Yeah. I know Pete loves Something Wicked This Way Comes, so
I've heard nothing but good things. It's supposedly it's carnival and creepy and coming of age and childhood trauma, all that stuff. I want it.
sounds so great. Childhood trauma, count me in, buddy.
You know what? You say that, but like I love it. Boy's Life, I love Boy's Life. Both of those are just so good, but like kind of messed up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you're not feeling it?
I mean, I'm just not a big fan of Stephen King's writing. I'm
He's
happy
my most read
I love
author at
him.
this point.
So, yeah.
King has recently become my most read author. He was tied for a long time.
Well, he's
And
got
then I
like
got
75,000 books out. Of course he's going to be someone's most read author.
Yeah, but okay, listen. So very recently I started reading King within like the last 2 years, and he's recently become my most read. So I read about a King book a month every other month. In fact, Madison, I suggested she read Needful Things, which let me know in the comments, Madison, how you're enjoying that. And she picked out that I read Doom and Key next month. So I lost the readathon that she won, and the ruling was she got to pick a book for each of the captains, and we were talking about Stephen King, and she happened to mention she wanted to pick my next King read, and I was like, go for it.
Patrick. But to go back to Brian's comment about Dune.
Yes.
Like, I get it. Dune is... You either will like Dune or you won't. The question is, Brian, even though you're confused, are you enjoying the writing style? Because if you're enjoying the writing style, then I would say continue it, go forward. It's great. Woo! But if you're not enjoying the writing style, then I would say I wouldn't say cut your losses while you can, but also I don't want you to expect it to get better.
It was funny. The first time I read Dune, I DNF'd it. And I DNF'd it very early. And that's because I had too much going that month.
Mhm.
And I remember I was just like, okay, maybe it's just a mood thing.
Yeah.
And for me, it happened. I'm not saying it is a mood thing for Brian, but it was for me. I came back to it, I think 2 months later, and it was like the last thing I read at the end of the month where like I didn't have anything else to commit to. And I just tore through that book.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna be that hipster kid, hipster person.
You read Dune before it was cool?
Well, I mean, I'm not,
Not that old.
I didn't read it when it first came out. When I was before even a twinkle in even my mother's eye. But no, I read it. I read the 6-book series because I refused to read anything by Brian Herbert when I was in high school. When I was 15. And I've loved it ever since. I finally reread Dune in 2020 when the first part was supposed to come out.
Is that when we did our read along?
Sorry, 2019. Yes. And then I did Dune Messiah, and I haven't reread Children of Dune yet.
Neither have I. I still haven't gotten to it. So technically, Evie,
We can buddy read.
This buddy read can still be on.
4 years later. 4 years later.
Yeah, it's fine. that read along just kind of fell apart, but because neither of us continued the series, we can totally do this. I'll be a first time reader. You'll be the rereader.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Yeah,
I've still been wanting to do Children of Dune, but I just haven't gotten around to it. I need to get back into doing more sci-fi. I've been doing a lot of historical fiction.
Yeah.
Lately, I've been getting into Con Evildeen. I'm starting to get more into Bernard Cornwell. I'm about to start Sharp here very soon.
Cool.
Which if I don't love Sharp, I can just hear Alan yelling at me. I can feel it in my soul.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wait, what? Why was I being borderline blasphemous? I'm confused.
Just because you didn't immediately say it was awesome.
It is. It is awesome.
I know. You were giving a diplomatic answer onto why Brian wasn't liking Dune.
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Listen,
yes.
I'm gonna pull an Alan and just say that half of the time, actually more than half of the time, stuff that comes out of my mouth, I do not remember what I said 5 minutes after I said something. So
I mean, like verbally, I tend to remember what I've said. Usually, it's with objects that, like, as soon as it is out of my hand, it's gone forever. Like, it's just like I could literally just put my phone right here, turn away. If you give me 30 seconds and distract me with something, I'm gonna be like, I can't find my phone. I don't remember where it was. I'll spend 20 minutes looking for it. It's right there.
I can't tell you how many times I've looked for my phone and it's either been in my own hand or in my back pocket.
I have done that 3 or 4 times within the last 5 years. Just, I can't find my phone. It's in your pocket. Oh. Listen, Alan is this guy who has now infiltrated the 10K ranks, the hierarchy of BookTube, and he's going to bring down the corruption from the inside out. I believe in Alan, and I hope he doesn't get corrupted by the system. That is who Alan is. Well, he also happens to teach languages that are dead to kids in Florida. And then, like, goes to Rome for a couple weeks, and I don't know. That seems to me to be who this Alan guy is.
Sorry, I saw.
Alan is already corrupt.
It's true. It's true. Considering he wanted so badly to get to 10K, that shows that he is a slave to the algorithm and always has been. But to answer also Bo's question from earlier about what favorite read so far in 2023, I finished Realm of the Elderlings in January, and Assassin's Fate is
Yeah. Hairball. Sorry.
Andrew.
Huh? I had a hairball.
I will remove you from the stream. But I mean, I feel like Robin Hobb is a shoo-in. So if I had to pick a non-Robin Hobb book, probably I would say my most surprising read is like surprisingly favorite that I didn't anticipate is The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshani Chokshi. I did not anticipate loving that book as much as I do.
Hold on, I have a crap memory, so I'm just reviewing.
Yeah, I literally have to pull up my reading spreadsheet. Unfortunately,
I'm gonna give 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna cheat and give 5.
Wallace Storms was great shot, by the way. But yeah. I mean, there's no but. It's great, but
there's always a but.
I don't know. I for whatever reason, like I'm hoping that Dandelion Dynasty will be one of those series that, like, obviously I love it. It's great, but I'm not getting that je ne sais quoi, like, oh my god, I get it. I understand why this is so amazing. Like, I appreciate, like, this is a incredibly epic story, but I just don't have that je ne sais quoi, like, oh my god, this is my favorite series of all time. Patrick,
you better be careful. Evie's gonna come for you.
Patrick. Listen.
He's just saying it to get a rise out of you.
It's true.
He doesn't mean it. So here are my 5 that I can't really choose between. I mean, I could probably narrow this down, but The Green Mile, which I think if you were ever to read a Stephen King book, this would probably be the one you would like.
I was told The Green Mile or Dolores Claiborne.
I haven't read Dolores Claiborne, so I can't recommend that one. But The Green Mile was amazing.
I loved
set in the
movie.
1930s. Huh?
I loved the movie.
I watched the movie immediately after reading this, and it's pretty accurate. They've just changed a couple things.
Michael Clark Duncan, R.I.P.
Oh God, Michael Duncan Clark. I miss that man. What?
Is his name Michael Duncan Clark, or is it Michael? Whatever. I don't know. Whatever his name is.
I'm pretty sure it's Michael Duncan Clark. I don't know. That's the problem you get when you have 3 first names.
Yeah. Anyways,
No Partner Storm by Cal Black. Book 2 in Legends and Legacies. Fantastic. Gaslamp, Louisiana Bayou style. Boy's Life, Robert McCammon.
Mm-hmm.
Then this one's not out yet, so this is cheating. But Judas Blossom by Stephen Arion.
Excellent.
And then John Palladino's The Trials of Ashmount, a DNF that I came back and absolutely fell in love with.
Didn't Leslie read that twice?
Yes.
In the last couple months?
Yeah. It's incredibly dark, incredibly messed. Like, the dramatis personae is called Those Who May Die. That's the dramatis personae. And I told him it's Those Who Will Probably Die.
Interesting.
Jaden, you take that back, sir. Take that back. You can have your opinion. Not everybody likes King, which I completely understand. But what's up, Jaden? Let's see. Derry wants you to know that her mom has a bee tattoo. We are talking so much crap about Alan, apparently.
It's true.
Anthony says you're right and I'm wrong.
I mean, sounds about right.
Yeah,
Alan, if we didn't talk,
it isn't.
I was just gonna say, Alan, if we weren't talking crap about you, that means that we didn't care. It's playground rules here, so
yeah. And no, it is not Self Pub, Patrick. It is Trad. Surprise! Andrew reads Trad Pub too.
You heard it here, guys.
Oh my goodness! In fact, do we have a pretty good split? Well, actually, it's 3-2. So 3 Trad, 2 Pub, Self Pub.
Nice. Shad, I haven't heard my husband screaming from downstairs, so they must be like the Celtics must be losing so badly that he's just given up. Or he's just given up on even watching the game. So
sports ball.
Yeah, woo. Sports ball.
Woo! Let's go sports.
Listen, I only watch hockey for the fights. That's the only sport that I'm like super into. I don't follow the stats, the teams. I'm just like, just give me the fights.
The best fights are when you've got NHL and then there's what's the one? Is it the ECHL? I don't know. The one right below NHL, they fight all the time, and it's fantastic. We don't have an NHL team in Indy, but we do have. They're called the Indy Fuel, and they're right below NHL, or they're either 1 level or 2 levels below, and they fight all the time, and it's amazing, and I love it.
Note to self: I need to go to a Providence Bruins game because that's the lower level. So
yeah, they will fight. The refs are much more willing to just let them fight because, they don't have $1 million contracts. So just like, oh, yeah, knock out a couple teeth. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
I have heard rugby is particularly brutal.
Yeah, like I think that's a little bit too brutal for my kind of my flowery sensibilities. Like I don't want to see someone like live breaking their leg, which by the way has happened twice in my life that I've been watching a game and a drastic, like horrible injury has happened while I've been watching. I'm like, oh god, no. And they were both, well, no, one was the Celtics game when I don't even remember his name. Some player, like, he had the first 6 minutes of his first game with the Celtics, he like his ankle just goes poof, like that. Like,
that's good. That's good. That's a sound investment in the player.
Indeed. And then the other one was a football game. I can't remember who was well, it must have been the Patriots, but I can't remember what the player was, but like their leg went backwards, like the knee went totally bent the wrong way, and I'm like, oh god. Gordon Hayward, there we go. Thank you, Shad.
The worst I've ever seen was my wife plays hockey at a local level where it's just kind of all ages, what have you, like men, women playing co-op. And a guy had a heart attack on the ice, like just dropped. He survived, but like when he came back, they said, you can't play here anymore. They were like, we can't go through that again.
Yeah, we don't want to be liable.
He was retired, as it were. He was very sad about it. I'm sure he just went and played somewhere else.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh jeez. Anyways, on a brighter note,
yeah, right.
I don't know.
Are we talking smashed him, bro? What, Derry? What is all this?
One of our weekly.
Oh, okay. This is the notes. Gotcha. Okay, she must be talking rugby. It's the weirdest I can think of, but I don't know. I mean, if we're talking weird, I just got this in the mail. It's called The Failed Technomancer: Robot Cannibal Apocalypse, Book 1.
Cool.
It's a review copy. And so the interesting is I don't know, I don't remember accepting this, and a lot of the people who have gotten this don't remember accepting it, and it's just showed up. So somehow somebody tracked down my address to send this to me, and a few other people, because Nico got it as well, and Nico doesn't remember talking to him. And yeah, that's interesting.
Well, at least it was a book and not a, flaming pile of poop on your doorstep.
I mean, I have been expecting that from you for at least the last, I don't know, 5 months since
One day.
our
One day.
since our
One day when you're not
holidays.
expecting it, it's just going to appear. So.
I mean, there is a service where you can send, like, you can have a service mail people anonymously, like gummy genitalia in a bag for the saying, "Eat a bag of
Dick. You can say.
exactly."
I mean, I've already said shit on camera.
I'm trying to keep it at least, I don't know, PG, whatever.
Listen,
listen, for the 75 cents that I'm gonna make on this live stream in 6 months, I need to keep my language clean. Okay,
well,
those 3/4 matter.
Speaking of weird books, which I'm surprised I haven't brought this up. Actually, I haven't talked about this author in quite a while. Stephen Graham Jones. He writes. Speaking of Stephens that write a lot, Stephen Graham Jones does write a lot. He's given Stephen King probably a run for his money at some point. He writes anything and everything. He writes off the wall bonkers stuff. If you want to get a taste of his writing style and you just want weird, pulpy horror, Zombie Bake Off. And it sounds
Zombie
exactly.
Bake Off?
Yes,
Is that where I should start with Stephen Graham Jones?
I mean, if you want pulpy stuff, yes. If you want like more coming of age stuff, I say Mongrels because that's my personal favorite. And it was the one that I started with. If you just like slashers, like slasher movies, then I would say My Heart is a Chainsaw. So
it's funny because my sister thought it was hilarious. Let's dive into some trauma here.
Wait, I didn't know you had a sister.
I've got 2.
No wonder you are the way you are, Andrew.
Huh?
I say this in the most endearing way. No wonder you are the way that you are, Andrew.
I've got one half sister I've never met. And then I've got a full blood sister who's 4 years older than me. So I am the younger brother.
Oh.
I'm the youngest of a brood. But she used to think it was funny that I was scared of horror movies as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So she would go out of her way to put horror on the TV. So all the way into adulthood, I have this conception in my mind. I am scared of slashers. I am scared of horror. I don't want to read horror. I love reading horror. And even still, like, if you're like, hey, you want to read this horror book? My instant answer is no, because I don't like horror. Despite the fact that I have read tons of horror and I'm just fine. It is so ingrained in me that, like, I can't change the conception that stuff scares me.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't. It's weird. Yeah, I am a quintessential younger brother. Absolutely. I used to pull the heads off her Barbies and hide them. What? I had this like 1 foot tall George Clooney Batman statue that used to go on dates with her Barbies. What? Exactly, Rogue. Exactly. We'll tell you. Just ask us.
I am the youngest. I also have a half sibling, a half brother, older half brother that I've never met before. But I also have an older brother who is a year and 9 months older than I am, but he likes to think that he's 10 years older than I am. And I'm like, you're not that much older than I am. Like, calm down. But yeah, so like he would play G.I. Joe. I have a vivid memory of us playing G.I. Joes and Barbie with his like our 12-inch G.I. Joes and Barbies. And that literally happened once. And then I think if I remember correctly, the reason that it all ended is because he decided that his GI Joes were gonna kill all my Barbies, and I'm like, no. Um, but my yeah, I know. But my most vivid memory is every single Christmas in our fake Christmas tree, he would hide his little army men, like the little 4-inch,
The
6-inch.
Green Army Men,
Yeah, and he would hide them in the Christmas tree, and I'd have to find them every year. So.
as one does.
Mhm.
As that Christmas was always just like the impatience waiting game because I would always get up earlier than everybody else. And then like my parents were like, "No, we want to eat breakfast, have coffee, and you can wait." And it's just like, "Why are you making me wait on Christmas morning? This is this is torture."
Right.
And my parents got a kick out of it. So, oh, I don't have a clear memory of swapping heads. I don't remember doing anything like that. Um, I don't, but I'm getting to the age where certain childhood memories are just becoming murky. It's just like I remember like playing baseball in backyards with friends, but like I don't remember specifics. We lit somebody's deck on fire one time on the 4th of July on accident.
On accident?
Well, so I guess we had sparkers, so you would like light the sparker, or it was like a lighting stick, so it was like a stick that would slow burn, and so
Mhm.
you could light multiple fireworks with it. And so we did all of that, and then we went home. I went home, everything was fine, nothing was on fire. I got a call at 4 a.m. that the deck was on fire, and by the time I got over there, there was a hole about 4 feet wide in their deck, and they blamed it on
How
me,
old were
but
you?
like
How old were you again?
probably 12, 12, 13. I
Oh,
don't know. Oh,
this is what
I
you
mean,
get to
hey,
look forward to with your children.
say what?
I said this is what you'll look forward to with your
I've
children.
got brick back there. Light as many fires as you want. Um, okay, so I was a Boy Scout. I was a Boy Scout. I got my Eagle Scout, everything like that. So yes, I am a bit of a pyro. We even have a side thing here in Indiana. Like you normally the like honor society nationally in the Boy Scouts is Order of the Arrow, which is bleh. But we have something called Firecrafter, which they teach you to play with fire. I thought that was a swell thing to do. And so I spent many years and many summers lighting fires.
Nice. Nice. I was in Girl Scouts meanwhile, and they taught us how to sell cookies and sew. It
I
was
mean, hey,
so
those cookies are delicious. I have read the
true.
first Elric collection, and I
And
believe Evie is on the second.
I am on the second. I am halfway through the second volume, but I am on hold until Joanna and Sarah catch up. So,
Nice, because
but,
I hit the eject
Carlos,
button.
Carlos from StoryTube, he has also started Elric, and he's really enjoying it. He has now renamed Michael Moorcock as Miguel Mucho Caco, and I cannot refer to him as any other name now. So,
Oh, I get it. I get it. That's funny. It took me a second. I was like, Miguel Mucho.
I so
Oh,
that was the thing is when he posted like his star rating or whatever, he was like, "Oh, Elric of Manibane by Miguel Mucho Caco." I literally told him, like, I messaged and I was like, "It took me way too long to realize that you just changed his name. I genuinely thought that someone else wrote another book called Elric of Manibane, and I was going to be like, what?"
I was not prepared for that. Like I was just like, no, it's Michael. Oh, Michael Moorcock. I can see where you. This video is getting demonetized. I don't even care anymore.
I'll send you the 75 cents, Andrew.
No, don't feel obligated. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed. I loved actually. I believe I gave it 5 stars. The first Elric story. Um, chronologically, the first Elric story.
Yeah.
Um, and then it didn't end up working for me in the end. That last story just made me so mad.
Yeah, so the second volume has a one of those weird, like, what the heck is going on type stories. It's the
Mhm.
Revenge of the Rose, and I really really liked it. I think it's my favorite of the collection so far. Um, and hey, there you go, there you go. There's your
Thank you.
now you don't have to worry about being demonetized.
Yeah, let's
Making it
start swearing. Thank you so
back.
much.
We got 3 more swear words with that money that Matt just gave you. Um,
That's right.
but yeah, so it actually makes me want to, after reading Revenge of the Rose, I kind of want to reread, what was it? Weird of the White. No. Oh God, I'm blanking on the title of the last story. But yeah, it makes me want to reread it, and because I'm like, maybe I just didn't appreciate it at the time. But
Blood and bloody ashes. That is. Thank you, Jaden, bringing in some Wheel of Time. I appreciate you. Bring on the potty mouth. It was funny. If we're gonna go potty mouth, like, I was scrolling. It was either Twitter or like Instagram or something, and it popped up as like you can put one f bomb in the entire Star Wars saga, and it goes to Palpatine going, "I am the fucking Senate." Where like, and I was like, "It's perfect." Oh, it was great.
here, so
Was that Mike? As I'm starting to drop f bombs and start talking about Star Wars, it's fantastic.
By the way, I've been like stalking Amazon to see when I don't know if you've actually heard of these, Andrew, but they're short story collections to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the original Star Wars trilogy. So they're called From a Certain Point of View, and they had a New Hope from a Certain Point of View released in, was it 2017? I think. Is that right? Yeah, 2017. And then they had, From a Certain Point of View, Empire Strikes Back in 2020. And they have, From a Certain Point of View, Return of the Jedi coming out in August of this year. So it's just a bunch of
so like,
short stories that various authors write. And I think my husband said that one of the stories in that first collection is like a story based in the trash compactor, but it's about like the like trash guy that like does the
I
trash
used to know what it was
compactor
called.
thing.
I know what you're talking about. The little eye stalk.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
Frankly, if
about
there's
that.
not an Ewok smashing in somebody like a stormtrooper's helmet, I'm not interested. Um, I grew up loving Return of the Jedi, but then again, I didn't see it until it had already been out for 20 years because I was a wee little lad. Um, but yeah, no, I am huge. Well, I was huge into Star Wars, right up until the Disney acquisition, and then like I've slowly gotten back into it with the TV shows. I refuse to watch the movies, and I play the video games, and I don't read the books anymore.
Yeah, Disney's ruined everything. Hot take here, but I will die on this hill, dadgummit. Revenge of the Sith is the best Star Wars movie. At me,
Eh,
till cows come
but it's
home.
also got the most cringe.
It
It's really
does!
good.
It does!
It's
But
the younglings. He killed the
younglings!
younglings.
I know! But here's
Awful.
the
That's an
thing.
awful line.
You cannot tell me, Andrew, that George Lucas planned the original trilogy from start to finish, because he wouldn't have had Luke and Leia kiss if he knew they were siblings from the
No,
beginning.
no, no. Okay, so no, the lore and the rumor that he had it all planned. He had things bullet pointed, but he didn't have it all planned out. In fact, like it wasn't until Empire that Vader was even his father.
I know,
That was
that's
a
why I'm
change that
saying
was
the
made.
original trilogy is so much, like, even Revenge of the Sith is the best one because, oh, hi, George. Because he actually had a structure to the entire trilogy and he knew where it was starting, where it was going. So, Spoiler
Anitha,
alert,
what?
Anitha.
Anitha, where have you been?
Andrew, Andrew.
She gives Luke a kiss because Han is being a scruffy nerf herder.
And they're getting ready to swing across. Have you seen the movie Fanboys, Andrew?
Yes.
That argument of like they were swinging. Oh, God.
I haven't seen that movie in many years, but
It's
I
so good.
used
I
to have
love
it
that
on
movie.
DVD. Used to have that one on DVD.
So great.
I keep wanting to like track down hardcovers of the original Thrawn books because they're amazing. I grew up reading the Thrawn books. I probably read the Thrawn trilogy at least 3 times. There's 2 trilogies. There's one with Kip Durin, and then there's the that I love that trilogy. I don't know if you know who Kip is. Kip is a Jedi Knight who ended up being really powerful in the Force, but he was also kind of a bit of an idiot. But there's like Star Wars got weird. So there was a Death Star hidden in a black hole and stuff like that. That you had to be a Force sensitive to navigate through a black hole, and Kip could do it and stuff. Like there was a secondary Death or a tertiary Death Star. There we go, tertiary Death Star. All sorts of great stuff. But the Thrawn stuff, I want the original hardcovers because I don't want the Legend sticker on them because it's not Legends to me; it's canon.
Right, yeah. I also agree, Derry. Rogue One is great. So
Rogue One was decent. If we're talking about the movie, it was okay. I did watch that one. I don't know. I think they changed the ending, and I would have rather not had that ending. I was fine with it right up until the end.
What do you mean they changed the ending?
So before it released, it was going to have a different ending, and then they decided to go the route that they went with.
I mean, cover your ears, people, if you've never seen Rogue One. But are you talking about like when they're on
the fact that spoiler, like I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been like 8 years, but spoiler that not everybody was going to die in the original ending, if I remember correctly.
Like the 2 main characters, Diego Luna and Felicity Jones. You know, man, Diego Luna. Oh, listen. If there's one thing that Disney Star Wars did right is casting Diego Luna, Pedro Pascal, and Oscar Isaac in starring roles because they are fine ass men to completely objectify people.
I don't know what it is about my face, okay? But I keep getting these I look like certain people. And I never thought that was going to be an issue for me. One of the I look like I used to be told all the time I used to look like
you do not
the,
look like Jay Baruchel. That's Windows. You do not look like Windows.
Thank you. But I've been told I look like one of the aliens from Third Rock from the Sun, or is it 30 Rock? I don't know. Anyway,
Third Rock from the Sun?
Yeah. It's an old sitcom.
No, I know what it is, but I'm trying to obviously not John Lithgow, not Joseph Gordon-Levitt. The other one? The guy who's like has like the nasally voice and yeah, you don't look like him either.
Hold on. I gotta remember how to do this. First of all, let me make sure that this is all okay. Perfect. No, like this.
You need to present.
How do I do that? Oh, present. There we go. Present. Share screen.
French Stewart. Thank you, Matt. Yes, thank you. You do not look like French Stewart.
This guy.
Add to stream. Add to stream. Add to stream.
Oh, hold on. I am experiencing technical difficulties. There we go.
There you go.
This guy.
Yeah, that's French Stewart. Yeah, you do not look like him.
Apparently, I did when I was a teenager.
You do not.
But if I were to shave, I would look slightly like this guy.
No, you don't.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You got this. You got this sweet, sweet
I'm the Henry Cavill. No, I'm not. I am not anywhere attractive to be in any. I don't even rank in the same building. Okay, I'm not allowed in the lobby. Oh God.
Was great. So.
Oh geez. I can see. I don't know. I had like 4 people tell me I looked like him growing up. So
yeah, I've been told since it's true. Like I haven't turned into a pumpkin yet, so it's very exciting. I was tempted to bring like a pumpkin or like a pumpkin get like a pumpkin shirt for a bit, but then I was like that means effort and energy, which I don't have.
no thanks.
So what was I gonna say? Oh yes. So I've been told since I was in high school that I look like Drew Barrymore. I don't see it, and I'm that, and so Drew Barrymore and Felicia Day, and I'm like, is it because of the slight lisp? I think that's it.
You do not look like Felicia Day.
When I used to have red hair, I think that's mostly it.
I'm not seeing the Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. I don't get it, but whatever. I have not read Wheel of Time, Jaden. Well, I take that back. I read like the first 100 pages of Eye of the World, and I noped right out of there because.
Have a good night, Mike.
I know my
What
reading.
do you mean you noped right out of the Eye of the World?
I know my reading taste. I knew I wasn't gonna enjoy it, and I wasn't gonna like hate read it.
You mean hate read it?
If I know I'm not gonna like it, I'm gonna hate read it.
Offended.
Says the person who DNF'd his however many upteenth reread of the series.
I mean, to be fair, I've read the series 5 times. Honestly, Patrick, yeah, it is the worst sci-fi series ever. Because it's kind of a little, but not really. What's the kitty doing?
She's displeased that I bothered her, and she's like, "Screw you!
Oh,
You woke me up."
So what are you planning on reading for the rest of the month?
Well, Don Quixote.
Okay.
So, and then I have to reread, do my reread of Northanger Abbey, by Jane Austen for the Classics Cage Match Book Club, with Tori and Kayla.
That's Patricia, right?
And Trisha, yep.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm
Have you read her books yet?
No, but I have them. Well, I have
I have read 4 of Patricia's books now, and I love them all.
Whatever it's called. Butcher Baker Candlestick. Yes, Anitha was very kind to send me Trisha's first book as well as Deathless Beast. So
nice. I love both. Those two are a power couple of writers. Fantastic. And yeah, Derry, what are you talking about? Because I can name a series with a 7 books log.
Shut your mouth. Andrew, when are you gonna read the Winter Night trilogy?
I actually just got the 3rd book. Hold on, here's my book haul pile. I just got this. So I now have all 3. I meant to actually bring this up, but there it is.
Woohoo!
So, Winter and the Witch, book 3, Girl in the Tower, and Bear and the Nightingale. And then I need to put that one back on the shelf so I can actually do it in a book haul. But I don't know. You said it's got good wintry vibes, right?
Yeah, I mean, technically you can read it anytime you want. Like,
oh yeah.
So, also, before I do turn into a pumpkin at some point, because, well, actually more so before Andrew turns into a pumpkin, apparently,
Been a
My
long day.
obligatory. This is part of my personal contract with myself. Please read Simon Jimenez, either The Vanished Birds if you want sci-fi, or The Spirit Cuts Through Water if you want fantasy. Thank you and good night. So
I need to give it a well, did you think I wasn't going to like that one? You
which
said it
one?
was more literary, right?
Which one? Both? Like both of them, or?
Spirit Cuts Through Water.
Oh yes. So it's definitely more experimental, especially compared to. I mean, they're both kind of more on the literary side of the respective genres, um, but Spirit Cuts Through Water definitely takes a lot more. I would say risk with like the narrative structure, because it starts off and it's primarily in second person, and then he brings in third person perspectives into the narrative and then weaves in first person perspectives, and it's not like one chapter is this point of view, this another chapter. It's very much literally from line to line. It could change. It's that
It's definitely something that I would have to get used to because my brain doesn't like when that happens. It's one of the reasons I initially put down Dune is because of the third person omniscient caught me off guard.
yeah, it's I've never listened to the audio for The Spirit Cuts Through Water, but I would imagine that it might be a little bit challenging, if at least if you just did audio, because there's a lot of like visual cues in the text that I think would really help with kind of seeing why these narrative, like the points of view, are changing and stuff like that. Um, oh wow, really? The Celtics did win. Holy crap! Again, they got
Holy
one
smokes.
more. They got one more game. They gotta win, and then they're in the second rounds. But yeah, no. If you want more sci-fi than or something to kind of start off with, I would recommend The Vanished Birds, actually. So
Yeah, it's I've been needing to get into more sci-fi because do I have any sci-fi? I mean, this is kind of sci-fi. This is sci-fi adjacent.
mhm.
That's not sci-fi. That's definitely not sci-fi. That one's kind of sci-fi, and I think that one's sci-fi. But yeah. So in the next couple months, I've got like one sci-fi that's like a sci-fi progression because I'm reading my Sharon actually got my patron pick this month,
Hey,
and she selected I read Titan Hoppers,
interesting.
and then I need to read Divinity's Twilight Remnant, which is kind of sci-fi. It's more steampunk, but it's sci-fi adjacent. And then I'm currently reading this one, which is post-apocalyptic, fallen civilization, rediscovering lost technology, dragons, adjacent weird thingy. Read Kindred. Isn't that Octavia Butler?
It is. It's also very good. It's less sci-fi and more like there's time travel in it, and that's the sci-fi aspect of it. But I would say it's more like historical fiction. But this is a sci-fi that I've been meaning to get to. Ymir, whatever, however you say it. But apparently, allegedly, it's like a Beowulf type retelling.
I
Ish,
was
or
I
at
was
least,
gonna like it's gonna be a Norse something.
yeah, at least or maybe it's like inspired by Beowulf. Nick from Wicked Good Books, who's actually the one who recommended me read The Vanished Birds last year, and so he is wholly responsible for my obsession with Simon Jimenez. He recommended that I read this, so I've been meaning to get to that for the past six months. So
The first AG riddle I read was oh god, I don't even remember the name of it. Was it Lost in Time? I don't know. It was incredibly creative, incredibly fast paced, but I ended up DNFing the series because it was just messy. Like it all worked in the end, but like to get it there was just like that was interesting just to see him like pull all the threads, make it work. But I was just like, you gave me anxiety, sir. Like you gave me anxiety. I don't appreciate that.
Yes,
I do have.
Tchaikovsky. City of Last Chances and Guns of the Dawn.
It's here.
Fantastic.
I've read Guns of the Dawn. Here we go. City of Last Chances.
It's such a beautiful book, and then the sprayed edges adds it even more. So
The sprayed edges are just unfair, and then like the naked hardcover as well.
oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. I just love the way. So technically, the first Tchaikovsky book that I read was good night, Patrick. Technically the first work by Tchaikovsky that I read was Made Things, and it's a novella, and I read it like in 2020, 2019 maybe. And I was like, this is like what? Like it was around the time that like Alan was hyping up Guns of the Dawn. It must have been 2020 because Alan started his channel in 2020. And I was like, oh, I'll just start with something smaller because I was like, plus this sounds interesting to me. It's about like puppets, homunculi, and it's short. And I was like, this is fine. It's 3 stars. I feel like if I reread it now, I'd appreciate it a lot more because having read City of Last Chances and Guns of the Dawn, like, albeit it's only 2 of his however many books, like I appreciate his storytelling style now a lot more, and just the way that Tchaikovsky's mind works with stories is really great. Also, he really loves his bugs. So
Yeah, so I'm very hit or miss with Adrian Tchaikovsky because I did the first 4 in the Shadows of the Apt. I really loved the first one, and then the other 3 didn't work for me. I loved Children of Time, and then Children of Ruin really didn't work for me. One of his novellas, what was that novella? I'm
Elder
trying to
Race.
look it up.
Elder Race.
Yeah, Elder Race, that's the one. I DNF'd that one 50%, and not because it was bad, it just felt like I'd seen it before. So it was some ideas that I'd already read somewhere else. And
Yeah.
with sci-fi, if it's a rehash of a previous idea, like in my opinion, that's really hard to pull off in sci-fi. And so that one kind of hurt there. And then I don't think I've reached for one in a while now.
These are there you go.
Ogres.
Ogre
I want to get ogres.
and
I
Put
want to
Away
get ogres.
Childish Things, and I also have Dogs of War because Sarah loves Dogs of War. She says it's great.
I've got his Cage of Souls. I've got the trilogy that's Tiger and the Wolf, and then the Bear and the Serpent, and whatever that other one is. I've got Doors of Eden right here. I've got Shards of Earth right here. I've got City of Last Chances. So I've got Tchaikovsky still on the shelf.
You should definitely read City of Last Chances. It is.
Yeah, Pete was saying that it was amazing as well.
So good.
I'm gonna have to have somebody force me to read it so that I can make room for it. And Dogs of War is one that is surprisingly hard for me to track down. At least when
I ordered it through Book Depository before they closed.
Yeah. I think when I tried to buy it, it wasn't available for purchase in the US. I think it's a UK exclusive only, kind of like how the Jen Williams stuff was.
Yeah.
Whatever that series is called, I've erased it from my memory.
Ninth Reign. That's all I know the first book is called, but
The Winnowing Flame. Winnowing Flame is the name of the trilogy.
There you go.
But no, Ogres sounds amazing, and I want to get the hardcover, but I also need to stop buying books that I don't have room for, because then it just leads to unhauls that make me sad. I'm going to have to call my hardcover collection. Well, actually, I'm going to have to take this shelf and move it over here, and then take these books and put them over there so that I can have more room for hardcovers, because this shelf has an extra shelf than this one does. And
you just can't you just get like an extra like shelf itself and just put it in there, or like add
could, but then I'd have to find room for other stuff that I have. Like, I've got this big space that I kind of keep. Like, I've got. Oh, come here.
Do you
Oh, I forgot how heavy it was.
Are those IKEA bookshelves by chance?
No, these are
Oh,
Target books. So I've got this comic collection of Doctor Who, the Fourth Doctor, that I picked up at a PopCon, and like this is the size of stuff that I have, and like this is my head, and this is the book. It is huge,
good
but I
God.
love this thing. I can't get rid of it.
We summoned Pete apparently by talking about City of Last Chances. Like we said it
Probably.
3 times and he appeared.
Why would the library have a signed and numbered edition? That confuses me. But
Well,
okay.
it was only if you're talking about ogres.
Yeah.
Ogres was a limited. It is a limited numbered like
Oh,
physical
is it kind of
publication.
like a Subterranean Press thing?
Yeah, yes. It's Solaris is a publisher, but I think it's like
Oh,
through like Grim Oak or something, maybe.
that fair.
I don't know, but
All caps. All caps. City of Last Chances.
or maybe he has just as a small face. There you go.
See, that's entirely possible. I'm 5'9", whatever.
Apparently, I really blew Anita's mind. We were randomly talking about height. That when I told her that I was 5'2.5", she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm really short." So
I remember seeing the picture with you, Alan, and Leslie. What Jesse was there too, right?
yep.
Yeah, and that's kind of that gave me the gauge of how tall you are.
Either
Because
everyone's super duper tall and I'm just tall, or everyone's average
I'm
height.
Alan sized. I'm Alan sized. That's how tall I am. I've met Jessie twice now.
Yeah.
Twice. Yeah, she and her husband come to Indy for a racing thing every year, and we always like go and hang out and have dinner. It's a good
Nice.
time.
Are you gonna meet up with Andy again?
With who?
AR?
Oh,
AR?
Andy with him?
Mhm.
Uh probably.
Because he lives just like 30 minutes from you, right? Or something?
Yeah, he's about 30 minutes away in I think he's in Zionsville. But yeah, I've met up for him twice now. He's a little rascal. So the first time he wanted to like talk and get to know me in person, he's like, let's meet up for drinks. And then he's like, I'm paying. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And so like, I was like, sure, I'll show up if you're paying. Whatever. I'd have showed up if you weren't paying. But he covers the bill. And then like, we went to dinner when Nico was in town. He's like, can I tell you something? I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I had a prearrangement with the bartender before you got there. You had alcohol. I had iced tea. I was like, oh, that was clever.
That's
It's
funny.
clever. He's something else. He's so much fun. Grim Oak does do good work. I've actually got I'm really proud of this one, and whenever they release the follow-ups, I want to get them. The Daughter of the Empire by Raymond E. Feist and Janie Wirtz. I've got the signed leather-bound editions of these.
I do not have any signed or leather-bound editions, but again, shameless plug. Derry, if you're still here, Darian and Alan, and I'm forcing my way into this read-along on Alan's channel starting in July? Yeah, July?
I thought it was starting
August,
in June.
September?
I'm
I'm
pretty sure it
pretty,
starts in June, but that's why I've got it to hand. Is I
no, I'm
put it on
pretty
my
sure it starts
June.
in July because October, November, December is the KJ Parker trilogy.
Well, I'm starting it next month then.
Oh, well, you know. Anyways, aha!
But yeah, gorgeous little map. It's got art, and then Janie Wirtz on this edition also did the art for this. The reason they're not out yet, the next two, is because she's been working on finishing up her Wars of Light and Shadow. The final book finally came out, and she owes art to Grimoke.
See? I was right again. July.
Well, I'm
You're
not
gonna make
waiting.
Alan mad if you start early.
Yeah, you know what? I could care less. So I'm fine with making Alan mad. I'll poke the bear. It happens. But I mean, I guess I could remove it and read something else. What would I read though?
City of Last Chances.
Oh, I could do that.
It's a standalone.
You know?
Do it. Do it. Do
All right.
it.
All right. I will do it for you, Evie.
Yay!
I will do that for you, and I will hold off until the read along. Until Anitha wants me to read Kindred, but yeah,
Well,
Jenny does do her own art. I've actually got it fell down today because the command strip gave out, but I've got it over here. I've got a full on print of I can actually show you the cover of Onsciere, which this is the art print I have on the wall.
Yeah, I actually got I ordered a copy of that bind up, and I didn't realize it was a used copy. So when I opened it up, I saw it was like yellowed pages, and it was like signed to Valerie from Janie Words, and I'm like, I guess I'm Valerie now. So
what did she do? She sent me something. She sent me This Way to Camelot, and I bought it directly from her. And because for some reason people always confuse my last name and they call me Matthew, she signed it to Matthew, and so like I like pinged her and I was like, "Hey, thanks for the book. I don't know who Matthew is." And she was like, "Oh my god, do you want me to send you another one?" I was like, "No, this is now hilarious." I was like, "No, I'm Matthew now," and so
that's
yeah,
so funny.
yeah,
Well, I
it
mean,
was fantastic. He's a
obviously,
sweetheart.
obviously, that's not the first time that's happened to you. So
Yeah, it's not. At work, I constantly get emails like, "Hey, Matthew," and I'm like, "What? You were looking at my email signature as you responded. Show me Matthew. Show it to me."
yeah.
But no, Janny's a sweetheart. When I did my Storm Warden review, like she was just like, "Thank you so much." Like she just freaked out, and like I've just got a correspondence with her on Twitter that is very heartwarming. So. Thanks, John. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Keep me humble. Keep me from getting a big head. Because, it's so small. Yeah, there's so little crossover. I've probably interrupted the conversation and just put it on the
Oh, she
screen.
was
What?
talking about we're starting Soldier Sun in June. The Soldier Sun.
Oh, the Robin Hobb stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks. I will reread those first 9 books in
B.
perpetuity. I like B as a character. I do.
No
I
spoilers
thought
for
B was
anyone.
cool. Say what?
I said no spoilers for anyone in the chat.
Fair enough. Now he's just going with it. Thanks. I actually was talking about Trials of Ashmount earlier, John. You missed it. I was saying it was one of my top reads of the year so far.
Make sure to send him that $20 you promised him, John, for saying that.
He can't right now. He can't afford to send me $20. Don't prompt John. John has this habit. For a gag, he will start doing super chats, okay? He's got a book to put out. John, save your money. Don't. Yeah, no spoilers.
Yeah. Hashtag no spoilers.
Do you do that as well?
What?
The hashtag?
I only started that after Alan started doing the hashtag Walker life lessons, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So hashtag.
I watched the teenager do it, and that's where I picked it up. So that's probably where he picked it up. It was probably somewhere in his classroom. He was like, "That's stupid. I'm going to start using it." I literally watched a high schooler go hashtag get woke, and I was just like, "Yeah, okay."
Actually, hold on. Going back to City of Last Chances, let's break Pete's heart. Actually, no, I don't have time. Never mind. I was going to say we could read Children of Dune, but I'm pretty sure I won't have time. So, never mind. But we should plan Children of Dune at some point.
We should. We should. It's so cringe.
It also
Such a cringe.
like it seems like a weird like I'm like, should I be doing this? Like should like
I have the e-arc. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm planning on buying it physically. At this point, John Palladino could fart between the pages, and I'd probably buy it.
Also, by the way, just FYI, unless this happens to be another Bards and Books, but subscribe to Usman at Bards and Books, and also subscribe to Matt at Go Reads Books.
Subscribe to everybody.
Yes, pretty much. Subscribe to Derry. Subscribe to Anitha. Subscribe to Pete. Unsubscribe to me and Andrew. And subscribe
whoa, hey, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't unsubscribe to me. It's free. It's not hurting you. But yes, you should go to subscribe to all of those people and throw Evie a sub because she does good discussion videos and panel chats and gets a bunch of us shenanigan loving belligerent hoodlums together to talk about books.
Listen, I try, and then sometimes. See, my problem is that I want like a group of people, and juggling a group of people with their time is really hard. I should really just do like one-on-one, like this type of stuff of books. So,
but you know you're not gonna. You know you're not going to.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Also, it takes effort. By the time that I'm... What?
If you do want to subscribe to Evie, I do have it in the description box down below to make it easy.
Oh, well. Okay.
See?
Whatever. This is awkward. Mm-hmm. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh, yes. So, I always think, I'm like, you know what? I should do, like, find someone who's read the books that I just read and do a discussion with them. And then by the time I think about it some more, and then I'm like, time has passed. And we're done. We're on to the next book.
I mean, hey, Alan is still doing Guns of the Dawn. Alan is still doing Guns of the Dawn discussions, so it's never too late.
You do realize I'm the one that set that up, right?
He's still a part of it, isn't he?
Yeah. So, which we're hoping it's going to be this Saturday, if not 2 Saturdays from now. So,
yeah. It's still happening. And he's still talking about it, and it's been 2 years. My point is, it's not too late.
It's true. There you go, Pete. Blood in the Mist. Blood in the Mist. Blood in the Mist.
I don't understand the reference.
It's the book, the book that Pete and I... Well, Pete... I don't think you finished it, Pete. Oh, if he can finish it, there you go. So he hasn't finished it yet. We were supposed to buddy read it, and then I just kind of breezed through it. And because I'm the worst buddy reader ever. So,
I'm terrible at buddy reading. I always read pretty much at my own pace. Like, I'm awful at waiting.
Yeah, I'm the same way. So, like, if I will either, one of 3 things will happen. I will start reading a book that I'm supposed to buddy read, and I will be utterly consumed by it and just breeze through it in like 3 days. Or I will start reading the book and I'll be like, get distracted by other things, and I'll just read it at a very slow pace, and I'll fall completely behind. Or I'll start reading the book, decide I don't like it, and be like, hey guys, can I actually just DNF this? So
I do that a lot. It's like, hey guys, yeah, I agreed to do this. I'm not having a good time. Can I? I'm gonna hit the eject button. Bye.
There's this weird thing is like, I don't know, like as soon as there's like obligation to something, my butthole immediately clenches up, I feel like. And I'm just like, I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. So
that's one way to describe it.
Yeah,
I tried to go the whole stream without mentioning buttholes, but here we are.
Well, are you saying yes, Evie's saying to the clenched butthole? Oh no, it's the obligations. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
we're good.
But I think we've reached the end of our stream, and it is both of our bedtimes.
Yeah, once we start talking about buttholes, I think that's the threshold. Apparently,
that's the threshold. That's when I know it's going to start going downhill.
It's been downhill since the beginning, Andrew. Let's be honest.
I mean, hey, I had fun. It was a good chat.
It was. Yeah. So also, I didn't get a chance to roast you and yell at you about your wrong opinions, which makes
that was kind of the whole plan. It was just kind of keep you distracted until 10:30, and then send you to bed.
Oh, okay. Well, just let it be known, Andrew has very wrong opinions about the last 7 books of the Realm of the Elderling series. There you go.
I happen to not enjoy them, which is okay.
No,
it's okay. It is okay.
No.
I read them despite not enjoying them, which should say something about Hobbs' writing. Because normally I DNF like that. And I enjoyed the first 9 books enough to read 7 books that I didn't enjoy.
Anyways, listen, we were going to end on buttholes, and that was going to be a positive note. Listen, if you want to read a book that involves things coming out of orifices that you didn't expect, Don Quixote. So there you go.
There we go. I am going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This was fun. Evie, thank you for joining me. If you want to subscribe to Evie for great panel chats and live discussions, description box down below. Also, there's tons of great people in the chat that you can subscribe to if you're watching this back with the live chat on. That's it, guys. Till next time. Peace out. Stay magical. Bye-bye. Long goodbye.